I made it. I made it here. I have arrived. I have arrived. So, quick backstory on that because I had this stream set up earlier today, and then I don't have my car right now. It's not in town. And in order to leave, I got to go on a bike, and I needed something to eat, and I needed to get out of the house. I've been grinding. You can hear my cough is back because I'm on my last legs after grinding through this week. And because I took the bike and it's a billion degrees outside, I had to take a shower real quick. And here I am. Here I am. Let me start the show by saying congratulations to Angel Reese, first of all. Before we get into the fever and what I had pre-scheduled here, cool accomplishment by Angel Reese today, setting the rookie record for consecutive double-doubles, 7 straight games with a double-double. You could see she was happy after the game too. I think with Angel, part of what's going on is she's so linked to Caitlyn Clark, and because she is the foil, the villain to Caitlyn Clark, if you will, she gets a lot of criticism. Now, I don't think Angel has been, I don't want to use the word innocent. I want to say, I think Angel has said some things that added fire to the flames, fan the flames, if you will. Okay, so what? I think she's done that in the past. But she is a hell of a basketball player and a competitor, and she's been a winner, and she deserves her props and kudos. I did a video on it earlier today, so if you want to see specific focus on that topic, you can just check out the previous video. Also, make sure you guys are checking out my new site, which is Women's Fastbreak on SI. The link is in this description here in this video. So you can go down and get the link. Head over there for more women's basketball coverage from me. Let me know what you guys think. It's another endeavor I'm doing all alone. So any feedback I get from you guys is but very much appreciated, right? So let me know what you guys think. Please check it out. Click on the link and all that. Now, I had this topic set up before the stream began because I think it's a legitimate question. We were sitting here and I definitely ran shows where I was wondering if, people were going to just completely lose interest in the Indiana Fever this season and completely check out on the Indiana Fever this season. And, there was a reason I felt that. I felt frustrated watching them play sometimes. But one thing I've learned when covering sports and having covered sports as long as I have, whenever your patience is about to run out, wait just a little bit longer. That's when you'll know the real truth of the matter. That's when you'll know, if you're a little preemptive or not. I mean, even think about the video I did making fun of myself for proclaiming Angel Reese, not Angel Reese, I'm sorry, Aaliyah Boston and Caitlyn Clark to be a great duo, right? That was something I said and put out into the universe, and then I made fun of myself for because I thought it wasn't going to work out that way. Now all of a sudden, it is working out that way. And it's not even just like Caitlyn is playing much better because Caitlyn is controlling the game. And I want to check some of the, let me say, more rabid Caitlyn Clark fans out there who think everything has to be about Caitlyn. Like every possession has to go through Caitlyn. Everything about her face and mannerisms is the only thing that's important at various, stages of the game. It's good for Caitlyn that the rest of the team is playing well now. And they've got some ballers on this team. That's the thing that is encouraging me the most. Like Aaliyah Boston was just the Eastern Conference Player of the Week, right? Just the Eastern Conference Player of the Week. And Kelsey Mitchell is a bona fide scorer. Like I see some of the fans complaining about her being a ball hog. I watched basketball my whole life, y'all. There are always players who play like Kelsey Mitchell, and it's not necessarily a bad thing. I see the way Kelsey conducts herself around the team, around Caitlyn Clark specifically. She is certainly not a detriment. And she provides a level of unpredictability to the offense because she can score in late shot clock situations and at any time. So if you're a Caitlyn Clark fan, you should be a Kelsey Mitchell fan. If you're a Caitlyn Clark fan, you should be becoming an Aaliyah Boston fan, who, by the way, Aaliyah had Caitlyn's back at the press conference last night, which you can see in one of the videos I did earlier today. Aaliyah is smiling out there now, having a good time, and the team as a whole seems to be having a good time. I'm just seeing something that the Fever shared right now. What is this? Erica Wheeler sharing a ice or something. Oh wow, those are cool.
Just a little ice. Oh, look at this. She's saying it. Me, you know me, I always want to show love to my teammates. I have a great partnership. I asked them for an opportunity to give my teammates. They say, yeah, here we are. Getting iced out. What that big joint at? I got me a little Dwayne. Shout out to GLD. I'm a Fever girl. We appreciate it. Thank you.
Let me get that full bottle. Yup.
You got it?
Last one. I love you.
I know you love me. I know you do.
I love you. Right there, 3.
Look at that love between the player and coach there too. I mean, this is a team that's coming together. It really seems like it's a team that's coming together. And like Erica Wheeler is a nice change of pace from Clark, right? To take the ball out of her hands. I think it needs to be in limited spots, but nevertheless, it's an option there. And you saw Lexi Hull, who's starting to play a little bit more. Christy Wallace is the one who hasn't really given them anything, and that's the spot they have to figure out. If they can get something from that 3 spot, all of a sudden they're going to be in business. Christy Wallace hasn't given much. Katie Lou Samuelson has had some games, but they need some production there. Maybe when Temefag Benley comes back, that changes a lot because you forget how well she was playing, and she'll be another entry into the team. But basically, they got a big 3 from a scoring standpoint right now. Clark and Boston, and the way they play together, and then Mitchell, the way she plays on her own. And on top of that, Melissa Smith is scoring. That's 4 double-figure scorers in the last game. So if Caitlyn continues to manipulate and orchestrate the games the way that she's doing, I think this Fever team could be dangerous. I really do. And I see some people hating and saying, well, they played the worst teams. Yeah, well, they played the best teams at the beginning. You can't move the goalposts like that. They have 1 fewer win than the Las Vegas Aces right now, after having played the hardest schedule in the entire season. So I'm not saying they're winning the championship, but at this point, with what's been out of the way, I think they're going to the playoffs. And I wouldn't want to play them in the playoffs if I'm another team. Because here's the other thing about Caitlyn Clark. I mean, she's a generational talent. I've said it a billion times. But this whole idea that Caitlyn isn't one of the best players in the world yet is just not true. She is. I'm not going to go back and rehash the Olympic thing because It's just tired now. But the argument against her at that time was she's not good enough. Yes, she is. She is good enough. She does everything out on the floor. Everything. I mean, let me look at the numbers. Who else is ranking where she ranks in the top however many it is? So where does Caitlyn rank in scoring right now? She's 16th in the league in scoring. In rebounding, where does she rank in rebounding? She's 22nd in the league in rebounding. In assists, she's 3rd in the league in assists. In steals, she's 21st. In blocks, she's 16th. So she's top 25 in the WNBA in points, rebounds, assists, blocks, and steals. She's number 1 in points per shot, meaning the amount of points off of any given shot that are produced. She's number 1 in the WNBA in points per shot. And then I know people will bring up turnovers. Who cares? She's number 1 in the league in turnovers too. We get it. Who's number 1 all time in the NBA in turnovers? LeBron James. Who was number 1 in the NBA this year in turnovers? Luka Doncic. The best players who handle the ball the most are always number 1 in turnovers. That's a function of handling the ball the most. It's why Aaliyah Boston defended her last night against basically that charge. And her turnovers are going to come down, obviously. They were at their apex at the early of the season when she's being blitzed and she hadn't figured out her teammates yet. But here's the moment from last night where Aaliyah had Caitlyn's back in regards to that.
There was a couple here and there. I think one was a set design where I kind of just assumed Aaliyah was going to be open and I didn't even really look before I threw it. So I think just slowing down a little bit. Honestly, I'm trying to remember the other ones. Another one was to Aaliyah that was slowing out of bounds.
It's all right. Don't worry. Because don't worry. Because I mean, you look at Caitlyn and you look at the way she passes the ball, and so sometimes things are gonna happen that way, and that's okay because we're not gonna let her hang her head. We're not gonna hang our head off of any missed passes because we're still continuing to gel together, and we know that she's a great passer. So if she thinks she can get that ball there, she's gonna throw it. And if I miss it, then we're good. All right. Don't worry. We're good. Don't worry.
Thanks, AB.
Look at the smiles there. And you know what? One thing I've noticed too is Caitlyn really lights up whenever anybody is complimenting her, because she probably took so much heat and has had so much pressure upon her. But I think this is a great thing for the WNBA, for her team, and everything else. Like just this bonding that we're seeing from the Indiana Fever. I almost threw out a phone number just now. I thought it was on the radio for a second. I'll be in for Mad Dog himself next Friday. It's a long plug away. I'll plug it next week. But next Friday, myself and Danny Cannell in for Chris Russo, the Mad Dog, on Sirius XM, channel 82 from 3 to 6 Eastern. Tomorrow night, I will be in with Denise Salcedo on her YouTube channel reacting to SmackDown. For the wrestling fans out there in the audience, I will also obviously react to the Fever game tomorrow night on this channel after that, or maybe I'll post it in the morning on Saturday morning. But regardless, you'll have a reaction video from me toward that tomorrow night. Sunday is my daughter's birthday, Ronnie's birthday. But nevertheless, I'll make sure I watch the Sky and Fever game and have a reaction to that. And then I'll be back with a live show on Monday. So this will be the last live show of the week. And then please, again, make sure you check out Women's Fast Break on SI. That's an important new initiative for me. I have it in the description. Drop the link in the chat as well. And, I'm not trying to do a super long show tonight, so let's get into the comments section now, starting with the super chats from AJ Schreiber. The dry cough, though, I don't know. Maybe I'm dying. Maybe this is my last. These are good, by the way. I know I plugged the Polars, but this new bubbly melted ice pop flavor. If I had a car, I would go get some ginger and stuff like that. But it's like a pain in the ass to have to take a bike when I live in the suburbs to run any errands. Like 3 miles to Target. Kevin Zwicker, Sides is welcome to the cookout now. I guess that's in reference to the chains thing that Erica Wheeler gave out. I wanted to yell at one commenter. Hang on, let me go to this one next because I need to put this person in check. Futuristic. Robin, your takes are so trash. That's why I unsubbed. You don't represent Fever and Clark fans. Number one, what are you doing here if I'm so trash? What are you doing here? Number two, no, I don't represent Colts and those who only see things through the lens of one person and one player. If you are unhappy with the current state of the Indiana Fever, that is a you problem. It is. The team is winning. They won 4 games in a row at home for the first time since 2015. They've won 3 games in a row altogether. Caitlyn Clark is having one of the best rookie seasons of all time. By the time it's done, she will have the best rookie season of all time. She is bonding with her teammates off the court and on the court. Aaliyah Boston is now thriving at the same time as Caitlyn Clark, while Kelsey Mitchell is also thriving at the same time as Kelsey Clark. Seriously, what could be your problem right now? That's all I want to know. What could possibly be your problem? You want Caitlyn to have the ball every time and shoot the ball every time? Is that it? Anything that's not positive about Caitlyn Clark and only focused on Caitlyn Clark is wrong? And I focus on Caitlyn Clark. I mean, more than any other thing. But I also know basketball, and I know weirdo behavior when I see it. And you're always welcome here, man. You're welcome here, but don't be a dick. And then expect me to I don't know. What is even the point of that comment? Anna Jordan says Futurist is the Justin Timberlake of commentators. Maybe he's a little off the sauce right now. I hope anytime I see a story like that, I hope the person is okay, because it takes a hell of a decision to drink and drive like that when you have the wealth that Justin Timberlake has, especially just in general. So I hope everything is okay with him. Kevin Zwicker says, is Clark the cult of personality like Punk? Look in my eyes, what do you see? Cult of personality. CM Punk will be on SmackDown tomorrow night. Then this guy's always trying to give me shit too. Wow, straw man your viewers. That person did not say any of the stuff you rattled off. I've seen their previous comments. He insulted me for no reason in my live stream. If I suck so bad, then why are you here? That's number one question. And yes, I have seen, and this is the vast majority of the Indiana Fever and Caitlyn Clark fans have been wonderfully friendly and supportive, and also in support of growing the game, by the way. And we've had fantastic conversations and fantastic feedback and all those things, right? All those things. But I have seen a small segment that is so protective and so solely focused on Clark, and anything that's, everything that happens is everybody else's fault but hers, and all these things. And I've seen him say stuff like that before. So BU says, I don't think you suck. You were just slightly objective. Clark leaning. Well, yeah. I mean, I think I'm objective. I think I'm Clark leaning for for a couple of reasons. One, I think she's the best player, right? In the most entertaining player to watch. It is what it is. Two, obviously, she is the most popular player. That cannot be denied. But I appreciate you being in here because I've seen your other comments, and obviously Clark is not necessarily your bag. So thank you for being in here. Bobby Yu says, good on you, Lundberg. Never censor people. Sunlight is the best disinfectant. Trust the people to discern what's up. Yeah, I mean, look, I mean, I'm not going to put like some hateful stuff on the screen or stuff that I don't think should be on the screen, but I'm a big boy. I can handle people saying nonsense. And it probably makes the show a little bit more entertaining, you know? But like, you know, don't come to my show and insult me. What are we doing? What are we doing? We throw up Alvin's comment. Robin, did you see the Wyatt family might have gotten Pat? I'm sure we'll talk about this on Denise's show tomorrow night. But yeah, that Wyatt angle from Raw on Monday carried over to Pat McAfee's show today, where it looked like at least they blacked out the screen before the show ended. I also like the fact that they took Gable out of the tournament to show like there were some ramifications for the murder that the Wyatts committed on Monday. Back to the Fever. Jen Braga says a team to be reckoned with. Fire. DMB6622 says, wish that any journalist would ask sides how Wallace can be more productive in game. Only player in starting five that is lacking in offensive production and pinching, getting behind on defensive rotations. Look, I think the biggest issue is she's just got to make shots. Whoever's in that spot either has to make shots, or if they decide to go big with Fag Benley, keep things moving and help in other ways. I mean, I think that's been the biggest issue with Wallace. She's just provided nothing offensively, and that's really come down to not hitting open shots. Ernesto says, what up, Robin? What up, Ernesto? Longtime fan. As is Ali, who says hi. Hello. Bobby Yu says, great segment on AR. Angel Reese, you could check that out earlier today. A couple of videos from earlier today were posted. So check those out. Jen Braga says, at this rate, the Fever have a chance to reach the 4th spot in the league. Let me look at the standings again. Ooh. So here, I'll share the screen so you guys can see them. There are the standings right now. As you can see, the Fever are 6-10. So they're a few behind in the loss column. But yeah, you're right. The Storm, they're not going to catch the Liberty at 12-3. That's just too high a hill to climb. But the Storm is realistic at 9-6. So I could see them finishing anywhere from 4-8. I don't think they're going to fall back out. Maybe for a day, like let's say they lose to the Sky on Sunday. But I don't think they're falling out of the playoff picture. So I think they'll be between 4 and 8 by the time the season is done. A lot of concurrence today, guys. Katie says, I'm a Caitlyn fan, but seriously, I've become a fan of and love AB, Mitchell, Smith, and Temmie. I want them all to succeed. Because that's the way it should be. They're a team, right? That's the way it should be. And I'm glad to see it. Glad to see it. Doug Phelps says, I don't see the issue being sides. The early lack of practice was a bigger issue. Now, it's a fair point because when I used some of that context to defend Caitlyn Clark, I didn't necessarily use it to defend Christy Sides, and she probably deserved the same defense, if that makes sense. So let me shout out Christy Sides in that manner. Basil Faulty 241 with the basketball comment this time around. Mitchell is very good. She's not a good fit on this team. Mitchell was good in college too. I think she is a good fit on the team. I don't see the problem that you guys see. I really don't. I mean, you could try to explain it to me. Let me know what you were seeing. Yes, she's not a kind of player. That's not who she is. She's a kind of player. But you need that. She's the only player on the team who can get a shot off the bounce in isolation in late shot clock situations. You need that on a team. And she seems to have a great attitude. She scored 22 points last game. She's averaging 16 points per game on the season. Those are all-star numbers now. I mean, 24, 17, and 22 in the three-game winning streak. Shooting over 50% from the floor. What's the issue? Team's winning. She's playing well. I really don't see the issue. My man, AJ Schreiber, Las Vegas Aces just shared on IG that they became the first team in WNBA history to sell out all regular season home games. That's awesome. Yeah, maybe I'll toss up an article on that on Women's Fast Break on SI after this is done. But that is awesome. And the Aces have, obviously they've won. Obviously, they've got cool uniforms and everything. Kate Martin for the Caitlyn Clark fans has probably actually brought them a little bit of extra attention. But that's good to see. I mean, you're seeing all these records throughout the league. I saw somebody bring it up in the comment section. Where did they say it? But the game on Sunday is the most expensive game in the history of the sport, of the WNBA. The Fever and Sky game on Sunday. Most expensive in the history of the sport. So many comments, guys. It's getting hard for me. Matthew Jean-Baptiste, do you think the Liberty will win the championship this year? They have the best team I've seen. Most talent, I think. They're playing right now, right? They just tipped off. Alvin asks, do I think Cece and Angel could end up being co-rookie of the year? Have no idea if WNBA has ever done it before. Well, look, I like the fact that it's a race, but no, I don't think that's going to happen. I think Caitlyn Clark will fairly easily win rookie of the year by the time it's done. And that's not me like standing or anything. If you just look at the odds, let me find them. She's still minus 1,000 or something like that to win rookie of the year. I bet you my man AJ has the odds handy, but let me see if I can pull them up real quick, so I can, and then I'll just like enter some dollar amounts in to give you an example, which tells you like an Angel. There was a second there where I thought Angel might make a run, and she's not going to allow herself to be an afterthought. She's going to be around the whole time. But I just think Clark is going to put up too many numbers across the board while leading her team to wins, that it's going to be pretty set by the end of the year. There we go. Let's see if they've got these future odds listed up here. Player awards anywhere? Damn it. They got to do better with the WNBA odds on these sports books. They haven't caught up yet. As of 2 days ago, rookie of the year odds, Clark was still minus 1,100 and Reese was plus 1,200. So basically, it means that Clark is a significant favorite, and she hasn't done anything to lose that. Oh, AJ just sent me some numbers. Where is that? Minus 2,500 now, AJ? Wow. Yeah, I mean, minus 2,500. There's just no way she's not winning. If you think that let me put it this way. If you think that Angel Reese is going to win Rookie of the Year, it is worth sprinkling a little money on that. It is worth it. When does Temi return to the lineup? Says Possum 5. Seems like she's getting closer and closer. I'm not sure exactly when, but closer and closer. Barbara Jerkic says, not with Sides as a head coach. The team has some great players with a good. I mean, look, it's time for her to get her credit. She took the heat when things weren't going well. I think it's time to give Sides some credit. Coffee Cat says, the Fever are decent, not top tier, but I didn't expect them. Oh, I think I didn't expect them to be. At least it appears they have a foundation to build upon now. Yeah, I mean, I think. And Doug Phelps, to this point, he's going back to the futuristic thing. If you don't agree with my takes, no one has to agree with what I say. I just don't appreciate being condescended to and, other things like that. But everybody's allowed to disagree with me. You don't have to agree. I mean, you'll probably be wrong if you're not agreeing, but that's okay. You're allowed to be wrong. You're allowed to be wrong. Michael S. says, if Clark gets hot, it's a big problem for whoever they play. Mitchell can also get hot. Smith can get hot. Temi hasn't played in weeks. I think it's fine to call them dangerous. Yeah, I think they are dangerous. And I honestly, I don't understand an Indiana Fever or Caitlyn Clark fan being upset about the current state of affairs. Lexi says it's hard to beat a team 3 times in a row. The Sky will win the 3rd game. We shall see. Jeffrey Goins says, yes, the Fever is getting more rest, but their schedule has been easy recently. The last good team they played with the Connecticut Sun. Yes, their schedule has been. But how many teams in the WNBA are over 500, guys? 5. 6? 6 teams in the league are over 500. So half the team is under 500, half the league's under 500, half the team is over 500. I mean, they only have one fewer win than the Aces. I mean, part of the problem with the beginning of the season was how condensed their schedule was and all the good teams they were playing. It was basically an impossible situation. Yo, what up, Saturn Tree? Is it tree? Tea tree. Fracy Corbin says, talk about Angel Reese. I think I have, right? And there's a separate video on Angel Reese below. Check that out. Alan Zelinsky says, Bird and Magic in 1. It's not an unfair thing. J-Rod, competition matters. CC and the Fever folds against top-tier talent. I have to see them hold against their own. But again, like, they were the worst team in the league. That's why they had the number 1 pick. You know? They're certainly not the worst team in the league. And they have good play. Like, they have better players than I think I gave them credit for early in the year. Damn, we haven't lost any viewers. In fact, we're picking them up. Here I am dying, and you guys are still tuning in. Daniel R. Johnson says, believe your eyes, not scripted narrative. I don't know what that means. What's the scripted narrative? There's like a little Caitlyn Clark GOAT debate going on. Dave says, according to the record book, she's the highest scoring point guard in NCAA history with 3 Dawn Staley awards and leads the nation as assists. Look, Clark is not the GOAT of women's basketball yet in the sense of the best player ever or the most accomplished player ever. She is the GOAT of women's basketball in the sense of bringing the most attention and elevating the sport. And she has the potential to be the GOAT on the court as well. Nancy says no one says she's the GOAT. She's in her first year and will show her ability as the years go by. She's showing it right now. Ian says, I think she's the most exciting player in the W. I mean, that's really, what it is. It really is what it is. Glenn Davis says there is no rivalry. You can't control that. There is a rivalry. I mean, whether or not Reese and Clark are active participants in it, it's a rivalry. It's just is what it is. They have no control over it at this point. And the tickets are going for $250 to $9,000. GN Pritchett says, just need to get Wallace out of the starting lineup. Wallace is not giving them anything. Oh, this is what Daniel R. was talking about. Getting Kelsey Mitchell to accept her role. I think her role is what it is. I think you guys are misunderstanding what her role is. You know, Caitlyn doesn't have to start and end every possession with the ball in her hands. And Kelsey's role is to score. That's what her role is. And that's how she scores. It's okay. Reese, the GOAT, is a special rebounder. My parlay hit every time. Yeah, you're smart. Mashiro says Mitchell just needs to pass it once in a while. If she never passes, so better teams are going to figure it out. We'll see how they develop. I really don't get the Mitchell criticism right now. She's had 3 great games in a row, and the team has won every game. What is the issue? Exactly, Jay Lucas. It's another dimension. If you just ran the same sets all the time, you could become predictable. She's the unpredictable nature of the offense. She's the break glass in case of emergency part of the offense. Every team needs a late shot clock creator. Adamoni says Caitlyn Clark and the Clarks will be NBA champions. Well, we'll see. I don't know why they didn't move that Sky game, by the way, into the United Center. These were the odds on Rookie of the Year, by the way. Minus 2,500, Reese plus 1,000. So it just means, according to the people who set these things up, Caitlyn Clark is a massive favorite to win Rookie of the Year. And let's show some love to Angel. She did shoot well from the field today. Which is what I really asked for, to make her shots around the basket. Kevin adds that I'm always wrong and we are cool. To call back to one of the other comments from earlier in the show. Oh, you can check out, we did our, probably the finale of the Kendrick supporter and Drake fan series, but somehow Kevin is bringing himself to defend his guy Drake. Still, that video is below also. You'll have to ask the coach why Celeste Taylor hasn't gotten any minutes. I mean, really, that's the Wallace spot. Wallace is going to have to not play if she's going to play. This is unfair also, Joe. Trinkets from Wheeler is the only contribution to... Wheeler made some big plays for them last night. She made some big plays in the fourth quarter. Like, you guys are so harsh, some of you, on Clark's teammates. It's a little unfair. Not everybody's perfect. Basil, I've never argued that Caitlyn isn't the biggest star in the history of the sport. It's not even close. It's not even close. She's generated the most revenue, the most attention, the most ratings, the most everything. Like, that's not, it's a silly thing. Like, it's not even worth entertaining the conversation because it's so demonstrably factually true. Man, I'm trying to get through. Oh, this is why there was a concert. They didn't cancel Justin Timberlake's concert. I think after the other day, Timberlake needs to get bumped for, for this game. Ralph Paterno, unlike in Iowa, where CC's teammates take stage, especially when CC isn't having an off day, Fever is not playing as a team. What are we talking? What? Boston was just the player of the week. Mitchell is averaging 20 points a game over the last 3. They are certainly playing like a team. DSI Sahande. Oh, when am I bringing in the rap dudes to talk Kendrick? You're talking. Well, I did it with Kevin yesterday, but you're talking about it. I did the special what-off show back at the beginning of the show with Rob Markman and DJ Low Key about Jay-Z albums. That's a good fit for Rob's channel, really. Maybe I'll hit him up about that. He's a hip-hop historian by trade, really. And I'm sure we could chop it up, and it'd probably be a really good fit for his channel. I will maybe reach out to him on your recommendation about that. You guys want to see something in Chicago? Check this out in Chicago right now. It's pretty funny. Pretty funny. Bryce Smith is right. I love that Caitlyn is working off ball and running around screens. It's brewing up now as I expected. Yeah, they're working off each other. Brandon 1050. Wheeler need to be making shots every game. I'm not worried about her contract. I mean, all that stuff predates this. Can't be concerned about her contract. Sam Bell says the Fever play 8 of their last 12 games at home and only play the top 4 teams. I think 7 of the last 22 games. I predict 6th and win the first playoff round. Hey, that'd be a hell of a season, wouldn't it? Bobby U adds, if Caitlyn Clark maintains her 16-5-6-1-1 line, she will be the first to do it. Not the first rookie, but the first player. Pretty impressive. Pretty impressive. Kyle, I think the Fever will definitely make the playoffs. I think the Sky have a chance. I think the Fever will definitely make it. Let's see where the Sky are essentially tied with the Fever, right? Very close to tied. Sparks are far enough behind them. So, I mean, that last spot right now is the Sky and the Fever. It's about where the Dream and the Dream are vulnerable with the Ryan Howard injury. I could see them falling out. So let's say the Fever they play the Dream tomorrow, right? Say they beat the Dream tomorrow. That could really start a free fall for Atlanta. Ali, why are you saying that, man? I can't stand you. What are you trying to... I'm trying to keep track of these comments, bro, but there's just so many of them. There are so many comments. Ayana says, I agree, screens are an issue, but they're improving. I agree with this from Dylan. They still need to get a three-point shooter to help more with taking off the pressure from Caitlyn. Well, they're going to get another big with Temme back. DS asks, going back to the last show, could Ja or Zion be the star that the NBA needs? No. Ja's not reliable enough. His actions have been self-destructive. And Zion, you can't rely on him to be healthy. So I don't think either of them is reliable enough to be that star. Love seeing CC drive to the basket, just exciting as those long threes. She also took that mid-range pull-up which was huge. That was huge. She's starting to expand the game. Bryce Smith says Asia is having an MVP season. She sure is. She sure is. All right. I tried to make it through as many of the comments as I could. Apologize if I missed anybody's comments. I was going to say that's what I got to say, but we've got more viewers than we have had at any point in the show. So it would kind of be silly for me to sign off right now. You can send some more comments, questions in. If Q&A, the floor is yours. Last live of the week. So anything you want to talk about, hit me up. Right now is the chance. Make sure you like, subscribe to the channel. Make sure you check out the new website, Women's Fastbreak on SI. I'm filling that up with tons of content every single day. Make sure check me out with Denise Salcedo on her show tomorrow night after SmackDown. I'll be back on this channel tomorrow night as well after the Fever game. I'll be back on Sunday after my daughter's birthday, after the Sky game. I'll be back next week with lives. I'll be on Mad Dog Sports Radio next Friday in for Mad Dog himself with Danny Cannell. I'll be in there. So, but I got a few more. Look, I was going to sign off, like I said, but I'm not going to sign off with this many people in here. So if y'all want to hang out for a few more minutes, I got a few more minutes. Shoot, whatever. But I'm done making any points. I've got no more points to make. So any of them will be any random things that you guys have to say or ask me about. Emmanuel says, people have been unfair with the Fever coach. It looks like that now, right? Bobby Hughes says, it must be fun doing a live stream as a host. It's only fun if you're good at it, to be real with you, because it wouldn't be fun if I didn't have all y'all in here. It'd be scary. I'll tell you, the two scariest things I've ever done are stand-up comedy and solo sports talk radio, solo radio. The first time I did solo radio, because when you're doing a dual show, you got other people to fill the dead air. When you're doing it by yourself, that first time I did it, I emptied the clip in the first couple minutes, and I look up and I'm like, oh, I got 12 minutes left in this segment, and it's the first segment of the show, and then I got 3 more hours. What am I going to do? And with stand-up comedy, you go out and you say, everything you say, they're expected to laugh at. Rap question, Alvin White Jr. Seeing that Drake is doing an OVO radio tonight, do you think he drops new music at Kendrick? I think he should just lay low and work on an album. I think the thing that Drake needs the most is a break. I'm sure Kevin would have something to say about that, but I think he needs a break more than anything else in the world. I keep saying that. I keep seeing people say that he's going to be fine. I don't see. I think this has done permanent damage to his reputation and perception. And I think the best thing for him is to make people miss him and then come back with something that has nothing to do with Kendrick Lamar. If he responds to Kendrick Lamar again, it's another dumb move, because then Kendrick will just drop another bomb on his head. All right, P-Chad Gable, I'm with you, Kevin. Mufasa asks, when is Roman Reigns coming back? Before SummerSlam. Before SummerSlam. A minor. Drake is dead. Gian Pritchard back on the topic. I believe they will lose, but if they play team ball, they could surprise a lot of people for sure. I mean, Mick Swagger says the criticism of Mitchell reminds me of what D'Antoni said about the Harden ISO offense. Namely that it doesn't look good, like good basketball, but by the numbers is actually efficient and effective. And remember, D'Antoni coached Harden and Steve Nash. And I don't even think like Kelsey Mitchell's usage rate is very high. So I think people are out of control because they just want to see Caitlyn have the ball every time. DS says Kendrick won the battle, but Drake will win the war. No. Drake lost the battle and the war and everything. Drake took the biggest L in the history of music and hip hop and perhaps pop culture. The biggest L ever. I'm not saying that it just is what it is. It just is what it is. Gian adds Paige and Juju are going to make a big difference. One of them is going to go to the expansion team. Yeah. Well, we shall see. Deepankar Joshi says, when do you think WNBA All-Star vote first returns will arrive? It's been 8 days. I wonder if they're just not going to do first vote returns because I think the vote closes in like a week, so maybe they just announce it. Yeah, Bryce, you're right. Paige will go number 1. Oh, I don't think the expansion team gets the first pick this year. I don't believe that. Patuxent Dan says, what is this chat about? Right now it's about anything you guys want. I mean, this channel has become a women's basketball channel. Obviously, Caitlyn Clark and the Fever, a big focus. Women's hoops on it, not women's hoops, women's fast break on SI. Make sure you check that out. That's my new site I'm running with Sports Illustrated. But I also have other interests, namely wrestling and hip hop. And I have fans that come from those regions and genres. So at the end of this stream, figured I'd open it up to whatever people wanted to talk about. So, what do you want to talk about? But I think that'll about wrap it up, guys, for tonight's edition. I will be back with a live stream Monday, but there will be content on the channel between now and then. So keep it locked. Oh, AJ, did you want to do your F1 bit? I sent the StreamYard link in our chat. If you want to, you can hop in real quick before I sign off. You don't have to. But if you want to. Sean, the Wyatt Stick going after talk shows, they're so creative. Kind of love the idea of them going after commentary. I love the bit that they did with Pat McAfee today. I love the fact that they're I love the fact that they're also giving it stakes. The fact that Chad Gable is out. It's brought a lot of life into WWE. Sean, I'm sure you'll catch me with Denise tomorrow night on her channel talking more about it. Ruth adds that I've always had an uneasy feeling about the discourse that seemed to be between Clark and Mitchell. It was encouraging to see the smiles post-game. I did see it, Lord Schaefer. I posted it. I shared the video during this chat about Erica Wheeler. I don't know if that's worth a separate video. I mean, I could do one, but I don't know if it's worth a separate video, but I did share it while we were in here. Kevin wants you to hop in, AJ. You got about like 1 minute. Thanks to all you guys for tuning in. Bryce, Bobby, all the people in this chat. I think we broke another concurrence record today. I mean, this ain't really this ain't really a lie, Abdur. Need more subscribers and likes. Talk about Caitlyn Clark in the day she didn't even play. But that was, I mean, they are a story today. Oh, hey, what up, AJ? Let me change the view here. What's going on, dude?
What's going on, everyone? Good to be back in the show here.
What are
Been
you
a
in
while.
bed? Are you in bed?
Well, I was trying to find a good spot. You put me kind of on the spot. I got my dog barking here, a little bit Stella. I had to close all the blinds because she was howling.
So you're a huge Formula One fan. I forget what you told me. Something is happening this week, and you had mentioned Thursday. So the floor is yours for your Formula One minute here.
All right, this is the only people probably going to be listening are Ernesto and Kevin, but I think Dave Weiss, who's in the chat sometimes, he likes Formula One, but we got 3 races in a row coming up, 3 weekends in a row. It's kind of a rare thing that Formula One does. But they're racing in Spain this weekend. I think we should do like some type of watch along, whether it's just the guys on the Facebook fan forum or
maybe that would be a good a members only watch along.
Yeah,
you know,
big time.
that way it's something for us to hang out and just kind of shoot the shit about.
Yeah, because it's Sunday morning, so I think the race is at 9:00 Eastern time.
Which Sunday? This Sunday?
Yeah.
Oh, it is my daughter's birthday. What, 9 to win?
The races are like 2 hours long at the most.
Okay.
So there's a lot of good stuff happening in Formula One right now. It's getting real competitive. There's like 4 or 5 teams that are all competing for the front. So everything's getting really exciting. And it, like last year was kind of a letdown for Formula One because like the Red Bull team won 21 out of 22 races. It was crazy. But we've already had 5 different race winners this year out of the 9 races, and it's just getting better and better. So if you guys haven't watched Formula One, you can usually tune it up on like ESPN or ABC. They carry it live, commercial free. I'll post the details on the Facebook fan forum, tell you what channel to catch everything on and what time to watch. And I'm telling you, Formula One is like, it's going to be the new WNBA. You heard it here first.
I saw a young kid the other day at a birthday party really into it, so I believe you. Kevin says you're a natural in front of the camera. Both of you guys are good in front of the camera. That's why, Kevin, are you there or you're at work? We could do a quick reunion of that. It really started. So long story short, I did the breakdown show. AJ contacted me on the side, which was very nice of him. And then Kevin has been following me forever. And then I did a show about how people got into wrestling, and it was with a bunch of the OG fans, and it was Kevin and AJ, and who else was in there? Michael Martin. Ernesto couldn't make it, and then Tina's husband with the fire alarm, right?
With the fire alarm.
Yeah, and and then Kevin and AJ have been helping me out. We're on a text thread all the time, so I just want to make sure I always show those guys love. What up, Kev? Can't see you, man.
My bad.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just like
Kevin's
the
at work.
first time.
Just like the last time we were out here together.
Office, guys, what's up?
I appreciate you spending your entire salary on super chats, man.
I'm not by myself. I actually have somebody there. I told them, I said, hey, my mom's calling.
Oh, yeah?
What's up, AJ?
Good to see you, my brother.
Yeah, man.
Repping my Mercedes Formula One right here. I'm
you guys, man.
Two weeks from today, I'm flying to London. I'm going to my first Formula One race in England. So I'm looking forward to that. That'll be in 2 weeks. I'm catching my first race. So catch this one on TV this weekend. And then
what's your prediction according to JC2K?
What was the question? Oh, Formula One prediction. Oh, I mean, it's hard to go against Max Verstappen with the Red Bull team, but I'll tell you what, the McLarens are catching them. The Ferraris are looking good. I wouldn't be surprised. Ferrari had a little bit of a letdown 2 weeks ago. I wouldn't be surprised if they're back on the top step of the podium, though. The Ferraris are going to come out strong. They're bringing a lot of upgrades to their cars this weekend.
Nice. Kevin, do you have anything you would like to say? Wrestling Drake? Anything?
If Drake drops tonight, it's gonna be a classic. That's all I know.
Hey there, Wagwan Delilah.
That was a classic.
All right, man. I can't harp on Drake too much. See you guys later. Appreciate you
easy.
guys.
Peace.
As always, appreciate everyone out there in the chat. Of course, appreciate Caitlyn Clark, like Albert Hermes is saying there. Ali, I hope you're doing okay, my man. Appreciate you. I appreciate everybody out in there in that universe that's joined me for this journey. Check me out tomorrow on Denise Salcedo's show after SmackDown. Check me out on this channel tomorrow throughout the day after the Fever game. Check me out Sunday after the Sky game here. Check me out next week with a live. I'll be back here. And check me out on Sirius XM Mad Dog Sports Radio next Friday in for Mad Dog. And check out Women's Fast Break on SI. Link in the description. An article based on kind of what we've been talking about right now in the link below. So until the next one, yeet.